Hello everyone, Earl Henderson, Primordial Defense. Thank you for watching. I have another Monday quarterback video for you. I'm going to play the entirety of this video without any interruptions, and then I'll go back and talk about things that are going on to better explain what's going on, and talk about things that I think that were done right and or done wrong. Without further ado, here we go.
Before the victim got shot, it was a white Mercedes with police pits made a left on the set.
Fuck this, stay with them. Yeah, 8 Henry 22. I'm with the white Mercedes. It's going to be a temp tag. Zebra Henry Robert 3426. We'll be close to Wayne and Dale.
Unit 2 says that Wayne and Dale. Unit 2 says that Wayne and Dale for the stop white Mercedes. 8 Henry 12 direct, thank you.
Roll down your window.
George 22 director of this unit 12.
George 10 real quick. You have fire rescue.
Driver. Roll down the window. Turn the engine off. Keep your hands where we can see them.
Direct.
Their hands out.
No.
Driver. Driver.
Hey, put your hands out the window! Put your hands out the window! Driver, put your hands out the window! Both hands! Put both hands out the window, driver!
3. You start, driver.
Driver, reach on the outside. Open your door.
Yep.
Ah, stay in the car. Stay in the car.
Nobody fucking move!
Where's the shoot at? Down the street. Put both hands out the window, driver.
3. You start, driver.
Driver, reach on the outside. Open your door.
Yep.
Ah, stay in the car. Stay in the car.
You start, driver.
Driver, reach on the outside. Open your door.
Yep.
Ah,
Nobody fucking move!
where's the shoot at?
You got a flashlight?
Go ahead.
All right, guns on the ground. Y'all see it? Guns right there on the ground. Don't mean he don't have one, don't have two. I'm walking up with the dog shield. Take lead. I'm right behind you.
904 Bonifant Street.
Look at the car. We don't know if anybody's in there. All right, you got it? All right. All right, come, hold on, put your gun down unless you're moving out online.
All right, so let's get into it. So this all started with an off-duty officer advising on-duty officers that there's a shooting in the 900 block of Bonifant Street. So I wish that there was more, excuse me, I wish there was more information about that. Unfortunately, they don't release anything. I tried to do a quick search, didn't find anything in an article, but I did see a, it was a news channel, I forget what it was called, but they had some video, and I was watching just a small snippet of it, and it showed a bar on this road. And I don't know if the bar was connected to the shooting or not connected to it, but if the people, this dude involved in the shooting had been at that bar or what. But this is not an uncommon thing to occur when police do press releases or even when the media reports on stuff. It will usually just say the block range of a street, and sometimes they are reluctant to name the actual business if the shooting did not specifically occur within that business or on its property. I would suspect that the reason why they don't list business names like that is for liability reasons. They might fear that the business could come at them and sue them for slander since the shooting did not occur within that business. But in all reality, when it comes to bars and nightclubs, like when people hear that block range and they know what's on that street, they already fucking know it's that one bar, right? Or that block of nightclubs. There's not that much stuff open at night, right? Especially in the downtown areas. It's not like the fucking rug store or the candle store is open at 4 o'clock in the morning. In the downtown area, maybe if there's a coffee shop, donut shop that's going to be open, the other ones are going to be bars and nightclubs. So, although I don't have the information to back this up, what I suspect is probably going on here is this off-duty officer was working security at a bar or nightclub, and a shooting occurred, and they called it in. That would be my best guess. But I don't have anything to, like I said, back that up. But that tends to happen quite a bit. Not the off-duty officer part, but shootings occurring at a bar, and the press release is not naming the bar specifically because the shooting occurred out on the street, even though there's only one fucking bar or nightclub on, a road, and everybody knows that's where all the shit goes down at. Now, I don't think there's just one bar on this particular road. I think there's multiple, but it's not like every single bar is going to be the problem bar. The problem bars are known. So you could have a downtown area that has, 10 bars or something. One or two of those are going to be the problem bars. That's where all the bullshit's going to go on at. So locals to this area probably know exactly what's going on. Obviously, I don't live in Montgomery County, Maryland, so no idea what the layout or anything like that is. But I would say this probably started within a bar somewhere. So this guy just happened to be on some random traffic stop, and the suspect vehicle drove past him. He yells out to someone. I don't know who he's talking to. Could be a ride-along. No idea who he's talking to. But he takes off and gives chase, and the suspect vehicle comes to a stop. He waits before he gets out and approaches the vehicle, because this is ending up going to be a felony traffic stop. They're going to be getting people out one by one at gunpoint. The only, I guess, negative thing to say so far is not utilizing a spotlight the way it should be intended to be used. Should have taken the hot center beam on that spotlight and put it right on that rear windshield and try to illuminate the vehicle interior as much as possible. And then maybe have the vehicle pulled a little bit more to the left to provide a little bit more cover with the engine block there. But more so the light. The more light you can put into a vehicle, the better. So he calls out to them, and he waits for backup to get there. And backup arrives not too long afterwards.
Real quick.
Turn the engine off. Keep your hands where we can see them.
Correct.
So he appears to be having some feedback from the PA, and eventually he gets kind of frustrated with it, and they just start yelling at the vehicle. Not 100% sure what's going on there. I would suspect that the speaker sound waves are bouncing off the vehicle, coming back to the microphone, just getting standard feedback. So he could be outside the vehicle talking into the microphone, and that's why there's feedback occurring. Not really sure. You don't really get to see the layout or anything like that. But a simple remedy to that would be just sitting inside the vehicle and using the microphone there. But then you're inside a vehicle. But with a felony traffic stop, you should have multiple more officers there, so it wouldn't matter a whole lot anyway. So they get compliance out of the driver and the front passenger, and then old dude in the back seat wants to jump out and, well, be Billy Badass. Let's see if I can get the...
Driver, reach on the outside, open your door. Yep. Ah, center the car!
All right. So, he looks fucking stupid. Old dude jumps out with a gun, and police, of course, have no choice but to utilize deadly physical force to protect themselves. He fires at them, and then he proceeds to kind of take off. He starts to backpedal while still pointing the gun at them, and then goes to turn, and they still continue to fire. Now, I have absolutely no problem whatsoever the minute he continued his back, the minute he turns his back and they continue to fire. No problem whatsoever with that. He just tried to kill them. He is a danger to society. He is a violent, fleeing felon at this point. They have not just the legal protection to utilize deadly physical force against him, but I would say they have an obligation to utilize deadly physical force against him to protect the rest of the public. This guy just tried to murder uniformed police officers. Like, if you're going to try to murder a uniformed police officer, you will try to murder anyone else. And although when he was shooting at them and firing at them, they were protecting themselves, the minute he turned to flee and they continued to fire, they're protecting the rest of the public. Because there's no telling what this crazy son of a bitch will try to do. He may try to commandeer a vehicle and take a hostage, or in his quest to go all out in a Grand Theft Auto kind of way, he may, while shooting at police, miss and then hit innocent bystanders. So the police don't just have a justifiable use of force here in a way that it protects them for doing it. They more or less, in my opinion, have an obligation to use that deadly physical force, not just to protect them, but to protect everyone else in that town.
Window driver! Ah, stay in the car! Reach from the outside, open your door.
Yep.
So we don't get to see the weapons used here. We know this guy has a pistol, and then we see an officer over here on the right who has a pistol. And then
Nobody fucking move! Don't have to. Got it.
as they're making the approach, we see what looks to be one person with a long gun, possibly. And it might be a shotgun.
All right, come, hold on, put your gun down unless you're moving.
Everyone else appears to have pistols. So I have a problem with that because these officers are going to a felony traffic stop for a vehicle that was involved in a shooting. And then, on top of that, a dude got out of the car and fucking shot at them. And they had to shoot him. At this point, for sure, as they are making an approach to him and the vehicle, there needs to be rifles out. There should have been rifles out during the traffic stop. I have no idea if there were any rifles out or not. We don't get to see all the body cam footage from everyone there, and the body cam footage is kind of limited to just seeing the suspect vehicle. It's possible that someone did have a rifle out, but the guy that was behind this door and then whoever went over here into the grass, all they had was pistols. During the traffic stop itself, those responding units should have got out of their vehicles with rifles. Assuming, of course, they had rifles in their vehicles. I don't know if they have rifles in their vehicles or not. If they did have rifles in their vehicles and they neglected to get them out, that's on them. They should have gotten rifles out. Now, if they didn't have rifles in that vehicle, then that's a problem with the administration of that agency. The administration needs to unfuck themselves and get with the times and put long guns in patrol cars. All patrol cars need to have long guns in them. Whether it's a rifle or a shotgun, it needs to have a long gun. And if the agency's administration is neglecting to do that, then they need to go. Like, it's time for them to hang it up. They're not there for the officer's best interests. If it's because of some other outside influence, whether it be like a mayor, city council, something like that, having some type of unnecessary influence over the agency, then that's where the people within that municipality, the voters, need to vote and get those people out. And that's also why I think there needs to be laws crafted that give a city police agency or a county police agency that has an appointed chief versus an elected official as the leader, to give them some type of protection that prevents a mayor or city council from having some overt direction over an agency and how they operate. Like, you're not going to see the mayor go down to the fire department and argue with them about 2-inch hoses versus 1 3/4 hoses, or 3-inch hoses or 5-inch hoses, and this and that. Like, you're not going to fucking see that. You'll never see a mayor, in my opinion, go to some fire department and say, "Oh, well, you shouldn't be carrying a 2-inch line on the front. You need this on the front of the truck." Blah blah blah. Like, no, you're not going to see that shit. And if you're not going to see a mayor go to a fire department and try and dictate how the fuck they're going to fight fires, then you don't need to see a mayor going to a city police chief and telling him, "Hey, this is how you need to run the police department, and this is how you need to fight crime." You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Stay in your fucking lane and shut the fuck up. So, no idea about the rifle situation here, but if they had rifles in there and they neglected to get them out, then they're wrong. If the cars don't have rifles in them, then the administration or local elected officials are in the wrong, and they need to go away. They need to go somewhere else and let the police be the police and protect the people the right way.
With the dog shield, take lead. I'm right.
So I like how this guy takes lead in this. He is, I don't know if he is a sergeant or anything like that, someone who holds rank. I have no idea, but he's taking charge of this scene here, and he's a canine officer, so he has a canine with him. So he's got his canine responsibilities that he's doing, and he's also doing some command and control over these guys and keeping them in line and directing the scene. He's basically the operations manager at this point, or you could say that he's the incident commander at this point. As I said, at this point, they definitely should have had rifles out if they had rifles available to them. He mentioned to them that just because you can see a gun doesn't mean that he doesn't still have one on him, and that's 100% true. If you you find one gun, then there's a good possibility you could find a second gun. If you find one bag of drugs, there's a good chance you can find 2 bags of drugs. So just because you see something laying out, don't take for granted or assume that that's their one and only right there.
Look at the car. We don't know if anybody's in there. All right.
He's got good situational awareness. He's directing them to clear this vehicle because there could be someone laying in the floorboard or down the seats or something like that, and could ambush once they get up within a line of fire here.
You got it? All right. If anybody's in there. All right, you got it? All right. All right, come, hold on, put your gun down unless you're moving up on line.
So someone is off to his right, and he was giving them instructions to lower their gun. So I'm assuming he's got crossfire concerns in his mindset here, and he's trying to alleviate any issues that could arise from that. The shield, so shields can be useful. However, at the same time, I don't see them as always being practical. Who's protected here? Just this dude. and maybe this guy right here, because he's directly behind the guy with the shield. This dude has stepped on out, so he's got full exposure here. The guy with the camera and the flashlight, he's fully exposed at this point, and then whoever is off to the right is exposed. So the shield is a little pointless in this kind of scenario, in my opinion. That's why I just, like, shields can be useful under certain situations, but a lot of times what you see is just one person holding a shield, and then everyone else is off to the side, not even behind the guy with the shield. Like, that's pretty fucking dumb, in my opinion. Why is it just with this one guy protected by the shield, but everyone else is out and about, not hiding behind it? That's a waste of resource right there. And honestly, the guy with the shield is not even going to be an effective shooter at this point, because one hand is holding this heavy ass shield and the other hand is firing the gun one-handed. So you're not even an effective shooter at this point. And I don't want to say more of a liability, but if you're not shooting accurately because you don't have a good two-handed grip on the gun, then you're not going to be able to shoot accurately with one hand. And when it comes to pistols, even shooting two-handed, you're still at a disadvantage because you're dealing with a pistol, very short barrel, and less points of contact on there. So it's already going to be not as accurate as a long gun. Excuse me. We don't see anything else past this point. No idea about the medical care rendered to him or anything like that. This guy did end up dying, I believe. So not even sure if any medical aid that they would render to him could have even made a difference. He could have gotten around straight through the aorta, for all I know, or could have taken one right in the head and destroyed his brain. And take him to the best trauma center in the world, it's still not going to make a difference. But no idea of the type of injuries, but we'll skip the medical stuff since we don't get to see any medical related content. That's it. If you like what you hear and see, go ahead and give me a like and a share. If you have not already, hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for more Monday quarterback videos. Earl Henderson, Primordial Defense, thank you for watching.